basically going to read a quote from a college coach and kind of break it down after that so you guys can understand why the coach may be suggesting the thing that they're suggesting, if it's sport specific, if it applies to every single sport. So the first piece of advice we have here is from Columbia softball coach Jennifer Teague, and it's on the most important qualities that she looks for in a recruit. And she said, I love it because it's short and to the point, talent, effort, attitude, ability to get better, teachability, and good parents. And it's funny how she mentions the parents because more than often the parents are getting too involved in the recruiting process, and a college coach that's not something that they want to see. The parent is not going to be on the team, the student athlete is, so they want to get to have that personal relationship with the athlete. I'll let you speak on that for a second.
Yeah, so kind of going off of that, we had another interview with the Colby track and field coach, Dave Cusano, and he kind of had a similar answer to a different question. We asked him just a general, what are the do's and don'ts of the recruiting process, or what are the do's and don'ts for a recruit when they're being recruited. And one of the don'ts, he said, we shouldn't have to email or call via your folks. It's okay if they want to speak on a given day, but they're not the ones who will be on my team. So kind of going off the response of Jennifer Teague, coaches really want to foster the relationship with the recruit. Obviously they know that parents play a huge part of the decision-making process, so they're willing to talk to them, they're willing to, answer their questions, but they really want to get to know you. They want to get to know the player that they're going to coach for 4 years, hopefully build their program, and, it's really important to be able to show a coach that you're interested in them, that you want to build that relationship, so it's a good start moving forward.
I think teachability is also another good word in there that's super, super important. You don't want to go in thinking that you know everything or that you're going to be the best player on the team, because you're competing with every person in the country that plays that sport, and it's a privilege to even be on the team. So be humble, make sure that you take advice from the coaches and from other teammates and whoever else it may be, and keep an open mind, and make sure that you work to be a teachable student athlete, because that's super important. You can't. That's something that is really important to have. Talent is obviously something that you can work on, but again, the teachability is a huge factor. And just so everyone knows, all of these quotes and all of these blogs are online on our website, on the blog. They're live right now. We've interviewed over 70 college coaches, and throughout the next couple months, they're going to be popping up. So feel free to check out the website as much as possible. It's a really, really great resource, and all of these interviews are actually way more in depth on the site, but we're taking what we think are the most important quotes for you guys, and like we said before, just breaking them down.
And with these interviews, they're all across the board. Like Kirsten said, we already interviewed over 70 coaches, with more on the way. They're from everything from men's sports to women's sports, Division I, Division II, Division III. We have a rugby coach's interview up there, a squash coach, and then we have, football, baseball, lacrosse. We try to cover every sport. So no matter what sport you're looking at, whatever sport you want to play in college, head to our site, go on our blog, and we'll have a college coach on that sport interview for you.
Sure. So I'll let Nick take over the next quote here. We'll move on to the next topic.
All right, so for Bryant men's lacrosse,
Oh, right.
Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, so it's actually me. Just kidding. So Bryant men's lacrosse, Mike Pressler. His thoughts on what are your expectations for incoming players in the classroom, weight room, and on the field? And his quote is, we want student athletes that are self-motivating in all areas. Valid point. The less time we have to spend monitoring and pushing each individual, the more time we have to develop the team as a whole. Super, super important point right there. You should be able to motivate yourself to want to get better, to go spend extra time when you need to practicing, so that the coach can focus on the most important things. Obviously, your coach is there to support you, and if you need the extra help, they're not going to turn you away. But be self-aware in the areas that you need to be self-aware in. So, do your schoolwork. Your coach doesn't want to be hounding you about your schoolwork or anything like that. Keep your social life, manageable, respectful. You are representing your team, whatever team you're on, so make sure you're making good choices with that. My mom always used to say that to me, make good choices.
Yeah. It's true.
And also, In the weight room, a coach can't sit there and say, hey, go bench press X, Y, and Z. Well, they can say that to you, but, just take it upon yourself to be the person to make the first effort and kind of go after those things in order to make the team better and have the coach be able to do their job.